Welcome back to Little English Studio, the place where history breathes, cultures come alive, and the world's greatest heritage sites are reborn through storytelling. In today's deep dive journey, we are heading into the ancient heart of Persia, to a place that changed the destiny of civilizations, shaped the foundations of human rights, and gave birth to one of the most remarkable empires the world has ever known. This is Pasargadae, the first imperial capital of the Achaemenid Empire, the triumph of Cyrus the Great, and the cradle from which the mighty Persian civilization rose and echoed across continents. Prepare yourself for a long, immersive narrative filled with archaeology, legends, forgotten palaces, lost gardens, royal tombs, ancient engineering, and the profound vision of a ruler whose legacy still influences the world today. Sit back, relax, and let's journey together into the ancient winds of Iran's Fars province, where Pasargadae continues to whisper stories of power, peace, and timeless human ideals. Far out on the plains of Morghab in modern-day Iran, surrounded by a landscape of rolling hills and quiet stretches of golden earth, stands one of humanity's most significant archaeological treasures, Pasargadae. Although today it appears serene and somewhat isolated, nearly blending with the natural environment, this site once represented a revolutionary idea, a capital built not only as a center of power, but also as a symbol of unity, diversity, and the visionary leadership of Cyrus the Great. To truly understand Pasargadae, one must travel back more than 2,500 years, to the 6th century BCE, when the world was divided into competing kingdoms, tribal alliances, and warring states. Persia was still emerging, not yet the global force it would soon become. And into this world stepped Cyrus II, later known to history as Cyrus the Great, a ruler whose courage, wisdom, openness, and compassion would lay the foundations of one of the largest and most enlightened empires in human history. Cyrus's ascension to power was marked not only by military brilliance, but also by an extraordinary ability to unite diverse peoples. When he became the king of Anshan, a small Persian realm, the world could not have predicted that he would soon conquer the Median Empire, defeat the mighty Lydians, topple Babylon, and incorporate vast regions stretching from the Mediterranean to the Indian subcontinent. What made Cyrus unique was not just his conquests, but the way he treated the conquered. While other ancient rulers often destroyed and oppressed, Cyrus embraced, respected, and integrated. He allowed local customs to flourish, permitted exiled people to return home, and protected the religious and cultural identities of the many nations under his rule. This inclusive philosophy would later be symbolized in what historians often call the Cyrus cylinder, a clay artifact that many consider to be one of the earliest declarations of human rights. And at the heart of his empire, Cyrus decided to build a new capital, not as a monument of oppression, but as a model of harmony. That capital was Pasargadae. Unlike other ancient capitals designed to intimidate, Pasargadae was designed to inspire. Its architecture, layout, gardens, and structures were carefully crafted to reflect the values of peace, balance, and diversity. The site blended influences from Mesopotamia, Anatolia, Iran, and Central Asia, creating a unique fusion that mirrored the multicultural identity of the empire. It would become the administrative, ceremonial, and ideological center of Achaemenid Persia, and even when later kings moved the capital to Persepolis, Pasargadae remained the symbol of Cyrus's ideal world. Approaching Pasargadae today, one of the first things that commands attention is the tomb of Cyrus the Great. Simple yet powerful, the tomb stands on a stepped base of 6 stone platforms, each diminishing in size as they rise toward a small rectangular chamber at the top. The structure is made from massive limestone blocks, precisely cut and fitted without mortar. Its design is unique, neither fully Mesopotamian, nor Persian, nor Anatolian, but something entirely singular. Historians believe it may have been inspired by ancient Aratian tombs or even early Aegean architectural traditions. But what truly sets the tomb apart is its profound sense of dignity. It is modest yet monumental, humble yet eternal. According to Greek historian Arrian, an inscription once adorned the tomb with the words, "O man, whoever you are and wherever you come from, for I know you shall come, I am Cyrus, the one who won the Persians their empire. Do not envy me this little earth that covers my body." Whether this exact inscription existed remains debated, but its sentiment perfectly captures the legacy of Cyrus, a leader who needed no lavish display to assert his greatness. As we walk across the ancient plains surrounding Pasargadae, we encounter the remains of the royal citadel, palaces, gardens, and administrative complexes that once animated this thriving capital. One of the most fascinating elements of Pasargadae is the Palace of Cyrus, often referred to as the residential palace. Although only fragments of columns and foundations remain, archaeologists have reconstructed the layout of a grand hall supported by slender columns, with tall, intricately carved doorways depicting royal guardians and winged figures. These carvings reveal profound symbolism, blending ideas of protection, power, and divine legitimacy. One such figure, the famous winged man relief, displays a fusion of Egyptian, Assyrian, and Persian elements. Some scholars interpret this as Cyrus's embodiment of universal kingship, a ruler who embraced and represented the many cultures of his empire. Just several hundred meters away lies the audience hall, another monumental structure that once hosted delegations, nobles, generals, and emissaries from across the empire. This hall, too, featured impressive columned spaces, wide ceremonial courtyards, and gateways that framed views of the surrounding mountains. One can imagine foreign ambassadors arriving from distant lands, from Lydia, Babylonia, Egypt, Bactria, and beyond, making their way through these grand halls, bearing gifts and paying tribute to the mighty Persian king. And yet, unlike many empires of the ancient world, diplomacy under Cyrus was marked by respect rather than intimidation. Pasargadae thus became not just a political capital, but a diplomatic one, a place where negotiations, treaties, and cultural exchanges shaped the interconnected fabric of the ancient world. However, what truly made Pasargadae revolutionary were its gardens, the earliest known example of the Persian paradise garden design. These gardens were so influential that the very word paradise in English derives from the ancient Persian word paradisa, meaning enclosed garden. In Pasargadae, Cyrus created breathtaking garden complexes featuring water channels, ornamental plants, and carefully designed layouts meant to symbolize the harmony of the natural world. Water was transporting through an advanced irrigation system, channeled into pools and canals that reflected the sky and provided nourishment to the greenery. These gardens were not merely decorative, they represented the cosmic order, fertility, and the king's ability to bring life and prosperity to his people. The Persian garden concept later spread across the Islamic world, influencing the gardens of the Alhambra in Spain, the Mughal gardens of India such as the Taj Mahal, and many others. But it all began here in Pasargadae with the vision of Cyrus the Great. As centuries passed, the Achaemenid Empire expanded, reaching the height of its power under Darius the Great and later Xerxes I. Although Persepolis would become the ceremonial capital of these later kings, Pasargadae remained spiritually significant as the resting place of Cyrus. The site continued to be a place of pilgrimage, reverence, and political symbolism. Even Alexander the Great, after conquering Persia, visited the tomb of Cyrus to pay respects, ordering his soldiers to repair and guard it. Despite being a conqueror, Alexander reportedly admired Cyrus for his enlightened approach to leadership. The two men, separated by centuries, shared a vision of empire that transcended brutality and embraced unity. Over time, however, Pasargadae gradually declined. Earthquakes, erosion, and shifting political centers led to its abandonment. Yet the tomb remained, silent but enduring. Scholars, poets, and travelers across centuries visited it, captivated by the simple grandeur of its design and the story of the man buried inside. When modern archaeology emerged, Pasargadae became a key site for studying ancient Persia. Excavations revealed not only architectural structures, but also inscriptions, tools, pottery, and evidence of elaborate city planning. Today, Pasargadae is a UNESCO World Heritage Site, recognized for its unparalleled contribution to world civilization. Walking through Pasargadae today, visitors often describe a deep sense of peace and timelessness. Unlike the crowded ruins of Roman cities or the towering temples of Egypt, Pasargadae feels open, serene, almost meditative. The land seems to preserve Cyrus's gentle spirit, his guiding philosophy, and his enduring message of human dignity. The wind that blows across the plains seems to retell ancient stories, tales of conquests, diplomacy, cultural exchange, and the dream of building an empire grounded not in fear but in respect. The lasting impact of Pasargadae cannot be overstated. It shaped the concept of imperial architecture, influenced garden design across continents, and served as the physical embodiment of Cyrus's ideals. But perhaps more importantly, it reminds us that leadership can be visionary, compassionate, and transformative. Cyrus the Great changed the course of history, and Pasargadae stands as a testament to his legacy. In a world still struggling with divisions, conflicts, and cultural tensions, the message of Pasargadae, unity in diversity, remains as relevant today as it was over 2,500 years ago. Thank you for joining Little English Studio on this immersive journey into the remarkable world of Pasargadae, the timeless capital of Cyrus the Great. If you enjoyed traveling through history with us, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss our next adventure. Share this story with friends who love history, archaeology, and world heritage. And as always, stay curious, stay inspired, and keep exploring the extraordinary stories that make our world so fascinating. See you in the next episode.